Look at there. Nice and syrupy. Ugh. Gag maggot. Hello, John Talley here with Partzilla.com, and welcome back to our barn find series of a 2006 Honda Rancher 350. And I think the engine's viable. So today we're going to go ahead and start working on the fuel system, look at the carburetor, and then hopefully be able to fire it up today maybe. Now first, we're going to go ahead and extract what fuel we can get out of this, because I smelled it earlier and it is rancid. I can smell it from here. It's bad. Oh my God. Ooh. Oh, this is just otherworldly bad. I mean, fuel is not supposed to look like that. Well, the good part is the tank is mostly empty, so I think we can go ahead and pull the plastics back and get that tank out of there, because it's going to need to be flushed out. The truly good part is it's a plastic tank. Otherwise, it would be rusted, guarantee you. So let's go ahead and get the seat out of the way, get that plastic pulled back, and let's get that tank off of there. And then it's going to head out to the washdown tank. So fuel line, a couple of 10 millimeters, strap on either side, and then she should come on out. And fuel tank is off. I want to show you the filter on it. Oh, it left it in there. There was supposed to be a screen right there, and it is completely melted. I don't know how else to describe it, but look at that. This is what it should have looked like. All right, it is nowhere to be seen, so it's probably laying around in here somewhere. I hear it. Yep. Looking pretty rough in there. Look at there. Nice and syrupy. Now there is a little bit left inside. Hopefully I can get that to wash out in the bay. So let's see if I can get that done. All right, kids. I was able to get most of the ooze out of this thing, and believe me, it was vile. But there's still a lot of debris inside, and I think the majority of it was the rest of the fuel gauge. That's all that came out. And there should be 2 stainless steel bars on either side, a cap, and then a float that goes up and down, and it shows you your fuel capacity. But obviously it is rusted away and still in there. So we should be able to use a magnet to fish out the rest of those little pieces. And then we can turn our attention to that carburetor. And hey, if you like what you see, go ahead and hit that notification bell along with that subscribe button. That way you can keep up with whatever I'm working on next. It's cleaned out, but it still smells rough. I just want y'all to appreciate how bad this really is. And we're going to wash it out one more time just with some acetone. That last little bit I'm probably going to have to shop back out. The more time you put in right now, the less aggravation you're going to have later. Because if you know it's clean, then it's not going to stop up that carburetor. Nothing. Done. So let's put this to the side, pull that carb, and see what it looks like on the inside. Not too much to do here. There's one electrical connection that we need to get. Of course, loosen this clamp up front. That intake boot is not going to seal up well, so we're going to get air pulled around that. So I am going to go ahead and order another one of those. Pull the choke cable out, and then disconnect the throttle cable from it. You do need to remove the air box, which somebody's already done. Basically, all you had was just the clamp going onto the intake venturi on the carburetor, and then there was a 10 millimeter bolt down below on the bottom. You remove those, she'll pop back and then wiggle out of there. this looks this rough on the outside, imagine what it's going to look like on the inside. Broke the choke cable, the threads, they're broken off in there. Hey, fire me. So I'll need to replace the choke cable as well. No big deal because we've already got everything stripped out. So that is it for the carb. Now we just need to carry it over to the teardown bench, open it up, and see just how bad it looks in there. Now if you need a really detailed procedure on this one, this is basically the same carburetor as on a 2003 Honda Rancher, which I did several years ago. So you can go check that one out and I can walk you through step by step. But we just want to open this one up so what kind of shape it's in and either rebuild it or just go ahead and replace it. One of the two. Now hopefully, since there was almost no fuel left in the tank, maybe this was empty as well. And I do believe that is what happened. I don't think that this had any fuel in it for any length of time. So we should be able to just rebuild this one. All right, I'm gonna let that soak roughly 45 minutes. Head over to the sink, wash it down with water, and then load out some carb cleaner and some compressed air and see what we got. This carburetor was in a lot better shape than I was predicting. I was expecting a nightmare in there, considering the way that the fuel tank looked. Now, I have a rebuild kit, which basically has new screws, O-ring seals, jets, I mean, you name it. This one is not in that bad a shape. Now I'm gonna go ahead and go back with the OEM. I'm gonna just order my individual O-rings and the other pieces that I do want to replace and call it a day. Now, is it more cost efficient with the kit? Yes. Is it more complete? Yes, especially if you don't have an entire warehouse of parts on the other side of the wall, which I do. So I'm going to go back with OEM. There's nothing wrong with going with the kit, so it's just up to your personal preference. But if I were ordering this and doing this at home, I would have gone with that. Now, let's get this carburetor bowl. We are going to have to clean a little bit more here because it's leaving a bit of a residue. So we're going to carefully wire brush out that channel. Get this sprayed out. Probably should have taken a look at this priming circuit earlier. I didn't think about it. But looking a little bit crunchy there. Yep, we can't go this far and leave that in there. Can't let myself do it. And it kind of hit me when that part came in. I started looking at my total that I'd ordered so far. And with these individual pieces, the new ones that I bought, along with the seal kit, I was within like $50, $50 of an entirely brand new OEM carburetor. So if you're ordering yours piece by piece, just be aware of that, because had anything else been wrong with this, it would have been more financially viable just to go with a brand new one. Now, especially if you're having to take your unit in and the mechanics, you're paying him who knows what per hour, it may be better just to put a new one on. I don't like wasting, but sometimes it's just not the best decision to rebuild when you could replace for the same money or less. But at any rate, we're already pushing forward with rebuilding this one, so let's keep going. Just something to keep in mind. All right, guys, other than that drain hose, I think she's ready to go back on, along with that new choke cable that we needed to buy. Get that new intake boot installed, then we can pop this carb on. Next, fuel tank. Now, I am going to replace this gauge. It's not available from Honda right now, so I did have to get one aftermarket. It's not like it's an internal engine part, so I don't have a problem with this aftermarket one. We'll see how long it lasts. Now, let's get our petcock back in. The filter, the whole 9 yards, it'll come as an assembly. But don't forget this O-ring that goes right here. It's a little bit hard to see on the exploded diagrams, but it is there. All we got to do is swap out the hose going to the carb and this handle. Now, almost replaced this fuel hose, but I think she's going to be around for one more run. We'll give it a shot. All right, a couple of bolts up top, straps in the back. Next, let's get this guy in place. Go ahead and do that electrical connection. That is for the heater. Okay, let's get our air box put back together. I hadn't even looked inside of this thing yet. A little scary. Go ahead and get your breather hose on the side of the engine. I've missed that one before. Now, there is a 10mm bolt down at the bottom on that bracket on the back of the engine. But before we do that, let's go ahead and get the air filter in and make sure that she's going to start and it's not leaking, and we don't need to do anything else to the carburetor. Let me put some fuel in this beast. Since it's been sitting up for so long, make sure that the vent is open and you can pull through those two tiny little holes there, because otherwise it'll run for a few minutes and then stop because it's starved for fuel. Build up a vacuum in the tank, and then it's not going to let any more fuel pass down to the carburetor. All right, moment of truth. It's kind of anticlimactic when you start a carbureted engine. Usually you turn it and everything starts to come to life. You can hear the fuel pump prime up, but that's not the case with this one. It's one of those I'm going to have to keep the choke pulled. Whoop, whoop, whoop. That's what I don't want to hear. That would be the float bowl filling up, the float not closing it, and now it's leaking, filling over into the overflow. So guess what? We get to pull this carb back off because it's not right. Once again, this is an example of, well, dadgum, I can buy all the parts to rebuild a carb, but by the time you do that, sometimes it's better just to replace it. But we're not throwing in the towel on this one just yet. We're going to pop it off, make sure I didn't miss anything. Even though we put in a new float valve, float jet, it is still leaking out of there. But when it comes up, it should be going boop and stopping it. And for whatever reason, that's not happening. But just thinking out loud here, since I don't know the history of this machine, this may have been the problem the whole time, because if you remember correctly, the tank was near empty, and so was the carburetor. So I wonder if that's what they were fighting. Couldn't get it to quit overflowing because it couldn't seal up the bottom of that float bowl. I don't see a crack. I don't see anything missing. I've had chunks disappear before in here, but I'm just not seeing why it wouldn't want to seal back up. All right. I've never tried this before, but let's do it. I want to just put the valve in there and just hold it loosely with my finger just to see what it does. All right, let's open. Now just with the pressure of that little spring on the inside, is this closing? I think. Or am I holding too hard? All right, well, let's do this one more time and see what we get. Let's get that pin in and look at the movement on it. All right, she's all the way up, flowing, shut off. It's having a hard time shutting off. I don't know. That float may be worn out. As far as the plastic on it, it's not pushing up against it as hard as it should. I give this about a 20% chance of working. See if the old unplugging it and plugging back in works. I kind of doubt it. All right, maybe there was something on that little plastic ring that goes around the main jet that was maybe pushed up against it, wasn't letting it move smoothly, and I just missed it when I put it together. Now I've left the fuel on the whole time, so if it was gonna start messing with me, I'd know it immediately. Let's see what happens. All right, let's bring up our idle a little bit. That's probably too much. Let's try it again. A little bit more. acting like you're flooding. All right, we've got it on reserve. Let's start it one more time, see where we end up. It's probably gonna be idled way too high now. Let me crank this down a little bit. All right, let's see what we got. Huh. The plot thickens. Let's make sure that we've got fuel in the bowl. Yeah, she's overflowing again. It's flooding it. She's just pouring straight out of that bowl. So let's shut that off. So this is one of those instances where even throwing all the right parts at an old carburetor didn't work out. Could I potentially massage that seat and get it to seal back up again? Maybe. Maybe, but that is a non-replaceable part. So my best long-term option right now is to go put on that brand new carburetor. It's a hard lesson to learn, but keep in mind, before you hit enter, if you're within 25% more of the replacement cost of a new carb, you may want to consider just going ahead and doing it, because in the long run, it's going to save you a lot of headache. Now, really, I'm going to start laughing if it just starts peeing on the floor again. Which it should not, but I have seen that happen with the float just being stuck. But not the case on this one. Now, one more time from the top. Let's see what we got. What was I saying about Honda's idle being off? Spot on, man. Got a whiff of smoke out the back. I'm impressed. Listen, if you need these or any other parts for your machine, why don't you come see us at Partzilla.com and we can get you taken care of. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with that notification bell. That way you can keep up with whatever I'm working on next. We just want to say thank you for shopping here with us at Partzilla, and we will see you in the next video. Y'all have a great day.